lipstick on a pig, explaining how to use it to cut through spin. John, you're allowed to say uncle on this show. Well, you're allowed to come on and say, my party in this case is full of bunk. You're allowed to do that. I give you time to think about that. Your thoughts, Jenny?
Well, I mean, I think the other important thing, I mean, what John was trying to say there, I mean, people need to be very careful about charges of sexism because, you know, if Sarah Palin and John McCain are so concerned about sexism, how come they don't support equal pay for equal work? Where's the outrage on that?
Are you talking substance?
I actually am.
Substance?
Stop.
My God.
It is crazy.
I would like to. I would like to talk about substance.
But that is, I mean, and to go back again, I mean, there is a really disturbing thing happening for people who actually like me. There's a lot of Democrats for a long time that thought Joe Biden, everybody thought that John McCain was a pretty decent guy. But what you're seeing now here is the beginning of hypocrisy. And I think that's a big problem. It's how they brought down John Kerry. They tried to make him look hypocritical. Here you've got two candidates who say they want to change the tone. And really the only makeup worth talking about is...
Let me say this, that throughout this, ever since Sarah Palin became the nominee, there's been a sustained attack on everything she said and done, most of which are complete and total lies from the other campaign.
Do you want to talk about it? All right, let's talk about it. How about taxpayer per diem, taking a per diem from the taxpayer to stay at home? How about taxpayers paying for travel? How about Bridge to Nowhere? I think that's stuff that they
she killed the Bridge to Nowhere, and that's been widely acknowledged that she killed the Bridge to Nowhere.
She was for the bridge before she was against it.
Well, of course. I mean, she's a governor. And then she saw there was a coast over.
You're not going to show that montage, whatever collage, whatever you call it, over and over again of her saying she opposed. Look, I'm not getting in this fight. I do have a tremendous amount of faith in John McCain's integrity. He used to be on the show all the time. In fact, we did a big thing with him a couple months ago up at Villanova. I don't believe he would sit where you're sitting and call his opponent, or say his opponent called his running mate a pig. I don't believe he'd say that. I wonder why his people agree doing that. Let's, if we can, show the ad one more time so that we all know what we're talking. This is what the focus is. It's not what John McCain says, because he hasn't said anything. It's what he's allowed his campaign to put out, which I think is a distraction. I think you agree with me. We shouldn't be talking about this. Just to deal with this, let's take a look right now at the campaign web video paid for and put out by the McCain campaign. So we're reminding ourselves what we're really dealing with here, which is a claim I don't think the candidate himself would make. Let's watch.
You know, they say the difference between a hockey mom and a pit bull? Lipstick.
But you know, you can't, you can put lipstick on a pig. It's still a pig.
And then, of course, they threw it. I'm waiting for Katie Couric to say, I shouldn't be using these ads, but they're using her, sort of her bona fides. Let me get Jenny in here. They're using Katie Couric of CBS, who's non-political. She obviously has points of view in her private life, but she's not a politician by any means. They're using her to sort of back up this claim. What do you make of that?
I don't think it flies. I think, and this is the campaign that won't even let Sarah Palin talk to Katie Couric, much less talk to any other reporter. Look, I think that you raised a really important point earlier, which is if John McCain can't even stand up to his own campaign advisors to get them to take down an ad, which is totally a distraction from what this whole election is all about, then how is he going to stand up to Osama bin Laden and everybody else? I mean, this is
give me a break.
It's a character question.
So over the top.
It's not. It is not. It's a character question. It's a character question. It is all about, is John McCain a straight talker? No.
Of course he's a straight talker. Of course he's a straight talker. You know that.
That's not straight talk. That's silly talk. That's Republican.
Come on. Everyone knows John McCain's got oodles of integrity.
John McCain's money is behind that ad. Money that John McCain is raising from Americans who are losing money every day. Americans are losing money every day. The economy is going downhill. We're in a war that we can't get out of. And John McCain wants to put an ad up about something that's not true and then won't even stand behind it? Is that the kind of person we want president of the United States? I don't think so.
Come on, Jenny.
I don't think so.
Come on, Jenny.
Anyway, let's do a book promotion here for Tori. If you want to know what lipstick on a pig means, the former press secretary, the John McCain, will tell you all about how to use it. It's used to cut through spin. I think we're beating a dead horse here. I think most people know about this. Of course, we'll do it in the next segment again because I want to get some politicians on it. to talk about this. Let's move on to the campaign. You first, John. What is the general notion behind raising the lipstick issue? Is it to focus this campaign, as lately Atwater used to do for George Bush Sr., on the news cycle? Blah, blah, blah. The other side goes blah, blah, blah. To the public, finally says, these guys are both blah, blah, blah types. There's no change issue in this campaign. There isn't a fundamental difference between the Republicans and the Democrats. So I'll vote for this more familiar guy, John McCain. Is that what the goal? Is that the tactic here of talking about this distraction?
I think this is a tactical decision. I don't think it's a good strategic decision.
Well, why are they?
I think what they need to do.
This is like Seinfeld.
I think what's going on here. I think that they're just got sick and tired of all the attacks on Sarah Palin. I would say that the more the Democrats attack Sarah Palin, the worse it is for them. And they need to be careful on how they do. I think that everyone needs to move on to the presidential and talk about the real issues. I agree with Jenny on the idea of talking about the real issues.
I'm going to give you one last time, John Ferry, and you'll be back on the show as many times as we can get you. But one question, finally. Do you believe that Barack Obama called Governor Palin a pig?
I do not believe under any circumstances.
Okay, thank you very much. We have reached greatness here. John Ferry and Jenny Backus, score one for your side on this very inconsequential point.